All right, here we are, and here we go. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN, just after 5 o'clock. For those of you just getting off of work, perhaps in your automobiles, turning on your radio, what's going on? We're going to catch you up to date with everything that's going on in your world. It's 9 minutes after 5. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. We also have Michael Lotfi in studio with us from Americans for Prosperity. Just announced, for those who missed it, a big-time debate opportunity for the 7th Congressional District race. And, you know, I guess we should back this up for a hot minute and remind people of why we're talking about this year, right? Because I realize that some of you may be new to the community or just new to the program, and you're maybe not caught up in everything. This is all the result of Congressman Mark Green announcing his retirement in the 7th Congressional District. He ran for re-election last year, won re-election handily, has decided to move on to the private sector. And with that announcement, wanted to get the big, beautiful bill out of the House of Representatives, got that done. And Mark Green has done a great job in public service, obviously, as a doctor, as a military man, and as a congressman. He's given himself to public service, and he's decided now is the time to move along. And with that, opens up an opportunity. And I guess the rules are, Michael, tell me if I'm wrong here, that the governor calls the special. The special has been called. We now have a primary that is culminating in October.
October 7th, I believe.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And then a general in December.
Yep.
What do you let me ask you this before we get back to the particulars about the Republican primary debate. Any thoughts on the Democrats that are entering the field? I mean, we were talking about the fair earlier. It feels like this lambs to slaughter.
My favorite thing so far about the Democrat primary debate has been watching them, watching it devolve, and they're all just at each other's throats. Just he did this and blah 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 blah, and she and they're all just fighting amongst each other, and it's like watching 3-4 individuals fighting over who's going to be the biggest loser.
Right.
The amount of energy and time and vitriol that they're throwing over each other to just find out who's going to be the biggest loser has been quite entertaining to watch.
We've had Afton Bain on the show on a couple of occasions, and talking to her about politics is very similar to talking to talking with politics to a puppy, like a literal puppy. But Afton is very excited about the fact that she seems to be leading the Democrat field.
I think, I want to be clear, of all of them, I like Afton the most. I think she's very talented. You can question her altruism or, policy chops, whatever, but I do like her personally the most. I think she will win simply because she's on the top of the ballot, and that's typically who wins in a Democrat primary. So,
what do you got? You got Afton, you got Bo Mitchell, you got Vincent Dixie,
and then there's another guy who's like a consultant or
I don't know.
something.
No, she's out there on the Snappy Chat doing the Wrangling Time.
Yeah,
have you seen Wrangling Time?
I think she's gonna win the primary.
Wrangling Time is hot on the Instagram.
Yeah. She'll win the primary. I think like I said, I think she's talented. I think she serves a role in the Democrat primary or in the Democrat Party. And it's very funny to see an old guy like Bo Mitchell just lose he can't stand her because she's taking all the wind out of Nashville, and he wants to be the Democrat power broker from Nashville, but no one really cares about Bo anymore. He's old news.
I accused her of pulling a video. She says she did not pull it. I've not checked it again. But she corrected me because she posted a video saying that the Boring Company would dig a hole in Nashville over her dead body. And I said, well, she's pulled this video because they're doing the hole right now. They literally are digging the hole.
Well, we need to put her on Suicide Watch or something.
And I asked her about it, and she reposted the video to me, or she sent it back to me and said, maybe I might have overspoken here, or maybe my language
over-exaggerated.
Maybe my language is a little strong. Perhaps I over-exaggerated my position here. I don't think it's not going to be over my dead body. In other words, perhaps that was just an exaggeration. All right, so for those just joining us, a debate announced in partnership with AFP, and I should just note, you guys, you kind of have different wings of Americans for Prosperity.
Yep.
There are certain aspects of Americans for Prosperity that will that will endorse certain candidates in certain races, that will get behind those candidates. This is not to be confused.
No.
Just separate these two things so that people are not confused.
So we have Americans for Prosperity Action, which is our political action committee that endorses candidates. Then we have our C4, which does a lot of our under the dome grassroots lobbying type of stuff. And then we've got our foundation, which does things like education, and things like this, like the policy debate, so that we're going to be doing.
And this debate structured format, and there are several people that are already suggesting that Matt Murphy will never, ever get through a debate with proper decorum. TB, as a matter of fact, says, no way, no way, no way is Matt Murphy, the moderator, going to work within the first 10 minutes. Matt will be an extra debater. Matt will not be an extra debater. And Michael Lotfi and Matt Murphy have talked plenty about this.
Yes.
If you're going expecting Matt Murphy, a talk show host, that is not my role. And trust me, Michael and I understand our roles at that debate.
Matt Murphy and Mike Lotfi are both Bulldogs. However, this is a federal debate. There are federal rules that dictate how these things go. And so let's go over some of those rules real quick, just for the public. So each candidate will have 1 minute for opening remarks and closing remarks. The order of operations, so the order in which we will address candidates for their opening and closing remarks, as well as each question that they receive, we're going to use an AI randomizer. So we'll put their names in a little AI machine, and it'll spit out their names in a different random order for each question, so that we can't, we're not giving. So
we're not even going in a loop order.
We're not going in a loop. Yeah, it's totally random each time, and then it will not repeat either. So time management, we're going to use a stopwatch. Each candidate will get 90 seconds to respond to the question asked. If they go over by more than 5 seconds, they will be issued a warning, and they will have time removed from their next question. We're not going to allow these candidates to steamroll their competition. It's disrespectful to their competition. It's disrespectful to the audience as well. So they will have a 5-second buffer there, and if they go over it, they will be penalized in the next question.
And I love this aspect, right? So it's a matter of you're told that's time. And then I guess you and I'll figure out exactly how we're going to do it. But you're told that's your time, and that's a 5-second. Yeah. You're already 5 seconds over when you're told that. Yeah. That's your time. And then then the clock starts.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're not going to start shouting people down.
No, absolutely not.
But the bottom line is if you're 20 seconds over after that, then you just get reminded you have 20 seconds left in this answer because you went 20 seconds over last time.
And they'll have one opportunity to do that. If they do it again, they're out. Like, they will leave. We will not continue the debate until they get off the stage. Again, like, we're not going to allow this thing to devolve.
Yeah, just manage your time.
And be respectful. Be respectful to your opposition, and be respectful to the audience.
Just manage your time.
Right?
That's all.
So crosstalk and name checking. We're not going to allow this, which is basically for a candidate to look at another candidate and say, well, candidate X over here did blah, 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 because what happens when you allow that is that candidate then wants to respond, and then, oh, you didn't give equal time for me to respond. And, we're not going to allow that. We're not going to devolve into that. On stage, there will be no props allowed. So you can't, you're not going to wear a big MAGA shirt or anything like that, or your campaign logos. No props, no cell phones. You and I will provide them a pen and a piece of paper. That's all they'll have on stage. And then the moderators. So the rules for you and I, right? Which is very important.
Y'all listen up.
We have 4 jobs as moderators: to ensure that the debate rules are followed.
Boom.
Enforce consequences for not following the rules. Read the questions and provide clarity when needed. So if someone didn't quite understand the question, we'll provide a little clarity there. And then maintain the schedule. That's all we're there to do. We cannot, in any way, shape, or form, fact-check the candidates. I don't know about you, but when I watch a debate and I see someone from CNN trying to fact-check the candidate, it drives me nuts. It's not our job to fact-check the candidates.
It's the people's
job.
That's right.
If you have questions about what they say on stage, then you need to go do your own research. It's not our job to do it for you. And we are not allowed to signal approval or disapproval for any candidate's responses. We're not to basically say, oh, that's a good answer, or shake our head, yes or no,
You're
or roll
awesome.
our eyes. Yeah, roll our eyes at the
you.
response.
No,
exactly.
we're not doing that.
So those are the rules. There's a photo of this. There's a document. I'm going to have you guys share it on your socials, if you will,
100%.
so that everyone can have a look at it. And you guys will be promoting it. We'll be promoting it. You're going to hear a lot about it.
And here's the important thing. And for any candidate, because I have no candidate in this race. I've had several of the candidates on, And in several instances, as some of my interviews sometimes do, they get a little back and forth, a little testy. That's all fine. That's not what we're doing at this forum. This forum is designed to get information to the voting public. So,
Right.
And I think Lotfi and I are in perfect lockstep on this, and I love those. I love the rules. I didn't have anything to do with the rules, but I love them because each question is an open question to each candidate. So whatever the subject is, the question is going out to every candidate on the stage. So these are not personal questions to individual candidates. This is not a gotcha type debate. This is an informational gathering debate.
Yeah, and this will also be the first time that I've seen at least where again, this is a real true debate. It's not a forum where we're not here to just hear your red meat. You're going to be asked real serious policy questions, which, by the way, no candidate is receiving these questions or campaign is receiving these questions ahead of time. You and I will be the only individuals who know these questions. And we're actually going to see where these folks stand on real policies instead of just hearing the chatter that you hear out of a typical campaign. This is a real debate. It's not just a forum. So I'm excited to really talk about policy in a real way for the first time.
And you and I know, will speak about, privately about the nature of some of the subject matter. But what I'm happiest about is to moderate something with someone like yourself that understands conservatives and understands, Republicans and understands what matters to a conservative or Republican audience.
Yeah, well, you and I are both obviously, I think we both vote Republican, but Americans for Prosperity is a libertarian organization, and you're a libertarian.
Right.
So, I'm excited to really hear, the real, true, real, actual limited government policy. We hear a lot about. A lot of things in the Republican Party have truly drifted away towards populism, which is just a pit stop to communism. And so let's take it back to the real base root principles of what the Republican Party was founded on.
Well, and I would note too, for people who come to this radio show, that when I interview people on my radio show, I ask questions that I'm interested in, and one hopes that by extension, the listening audience is also interested in those questions. My mindset, and you and I haven't talked about this, but just thinking about it over the weekend, my mindset is to really put myself in the minds of the voters of the 7th Congressional District and to try to get down, in a macro and a micro level, what these voters care about, what they're interested in, and then find those subject matters, those themes that you can then explore how to formulate questions that'll get to the bottom of not where the candidates agree so much, but where they differ.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they're going to differ, maybe not in policy position, but in priority.
Right.
I mean, all of these things are why these debates are so worthwhile.
Priority style, too. Who can be the most effective? I think for the most part, a lot of these guys probably really, truly believe pretty in line with each other.
I mean, I bet it's 85-90% overlap, at least.
But where they are different is going to make or break the representation for the district.
100%.
Right? How are they going to represent themselves in D.C.? How effective can they be? And do they really, truly have a grasp on the actual issues that are actual federal issues? All the time I hear these candidates out there talking about state issues, and I'm like, are you running for Congress or are you running for for state office?
Right.
So we are polling as well in our poll that we're doing that's used as part of the selection criteria. We are asking voters what their top issue is. So we'll be formulating questions specifically to what they say their top issues are. So we'll be coming up with the questions, and WTN will be a part of that process as well.
How can people get? I mean, what's the process on ticketing?
So free admission. We do prefer that you RSVP through www.afptn. Oh man, hold on. What is the?
That's important. It's
It is important.
It's important to get it right.
There it is.
By the way, I should note before you note that. Well, go ahead with that one.
Okay. So go to the website www.aftn.events. So that's where you can register right now. We prefer that you pre-register. If you are pre-registered, you will get priority seating. So when you come to Cabaret that evening around 6 o'clock to get checked in and to walk in, there will be two lines. There will be a pre-registration line and a not pre-registration line. Those who have pre-registered will get better seats because they'll get in a lot quicker. Those who have not pre-registered may not have the best seats, but it's really great seating in the entire place. You've been in there, and we'll be continuing to advertise that link.
Cabaret is a great place, a great facility. I think it's going to. I would strongly encourage you, if you're interested in attending live, to go ahead and pre-register.
Yeah. Yeah, we would appreciate that. It'll make things go a lot quicker.
Going to fill up.
I think so too. It'll make things go a lot quicker. But we will be running ads consistently. You guys will be promoting it consistently. So if you didn't catch that, www.afptn.events, like a website, like instead of .com, it's just .events, EVENTS. So you can go there, you can see the event there, you can click it, register, and we'll continue to promote that link.
And if you are in the 7th Congressional District or not, and you're just interested in the debate and you can't get to Cabaret on September 5th, never you fear, broadcast live right here at Supertalk 99.7 WTN, uninterrupted for 2 hours from 7 until 9 that Friday night. Michael, thank you so much for your time. I know you'll be back. I know we'll be talking about this quite a bit moving forward. I'm very excited about it. Thanks for letting us be a part of it. We're proud to be a part of it with AFP, and it should be a very informative evening.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, there's Michael Lotfy. We'll be back in a moment, 24 after the hour on Super Talk. Giving the old glad hand to Lotfy, telling him good job. I'm excited about this debate. I hope you are as well. And look, understand something. It is not the Matt Murphy on that stage Matt Murphy here in this format is a different cat. I understand how to do a debate. I've moderated debates in the past. I'm not getting in the way of any of that. I'm not fact-checking anybody. That is up to you at that point. It is my job, it's Lotfy's job, to find the right questions that matter to the people of Middle Tennessee, ask those questions, and let the answers fall where they may. And here's the cool part, is that that next Monday, I get to put back on my talk show hat, and I get to go after these people that didn't actually answer the questions. And then I get to say things like this. Ken, you ready?
Yes.
What's that moderator guy doing? What kind of questions was he asking? What a boob. Dumb moderator.
Let me do that.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you're talking about me, not Lotfy. I was asked if I'm wearing a tie to this event. You know who asked me that? Dan Mandis.
Brother Dan Mandis.
Yeah, he said, "Are you gonna? So you gonna wear a tie, Murphy?"
Did he just now ask you that? Because I figured he's in bed.
No, he asked me that this morning when I saw him at the coffee place.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's right.
We were talking about the debate, and he said, "You gonna wear a tie?" And that was fine.
Yeah.
But then he asked me a follow up that was a little hurtful. Do you own a tie? Like, what? Of course I own a tie. Come on.
I think I've seen you in a tie, Brother Murphy.
I own, I think about 4 of them, not including bow ties.
Yeah, and I mean, from time to time, you got to come up here early, and you've got discussions with important people.
I got to show out. There's no other way to do it. I mean, I got to show out. Thank you, Jackson. We're showing out with the news. Todd Starnes is on the way next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy and you. Thank you for being around with us. Now, for those of you normally joining us at this time, anticipating nincompoops in the news, no nincompoops during this segment.
Wait, did you say nincompoops?
I did not. Well, I did, but not for you, Jackson. No nincompoops in this segment. No. We're waiting until 6:05, 6:06 to do nincompoops because we have a very non-nincompoop on the line with us, and that is in the form of Todd Starnes, who emanates out of Memphis, Tennessee, but he is a national talk show host. He has written a new book called Star-Spangled Blessings, Devotions for Patriots, and he's going to be in Hendersonville tomorrow night at Jolly Ollie's, and it is my pleasure to talk with Todd again. Haven't talked to him in a month of Sundays, and it's always good to catch up with Todd Starnes on the Murphy Show Hotline. Todd, good afternoon.
Matt, thank you for clearing up the nincompoopery issue. Appreciate that. And can I just say why you are such a godsend to the volunteer state? Because, it used to be that our elected leaders were all upset with me. But now you've taken away a lot of that. So thank you on behalf of me.
Well, listen, Todd, if that's the case, I find myself in great company because you've been holding court in Memphis and nationally for a long, long time. And you hold their feet to the fire, man, and that's what it's all about. And all I tell people is, listen, I'm just here for you. I'm trying to ask questions that I believe the people want answers to. And the worst way to get on my bad side is to try to BS a BSer, I like to say. And we get that a lot in our world, man.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Talk to me for a minute about I'm just curious where you think we are in the state of the world when it comes to Donald Trump and what he's trying to do with foreign policy. I understand. I think he's being very earnest. I think he means it when he says that he wants to be the president that sees the world at its most peaceful in modern times. I don't know that he's dealing with honest actors, but I want to start here, and I want to ask you about Memphis and some other things, and, of course, the book. But what are your thoughts on what's going on in Washington, D.C. today?
You know, I've had a chance to talk to the president a number of times and sat down with him for my last book at length at Mar-a-Lago, and I just really get the sense that he is an earnest person. He really does want peace. And I think that, you know, he's dealing with some pretty nefarious people. It cracked me up, though, all the folks that were complaining about the Alaska summit. You know, this is a guy who wrote a book on the art of the deal. And the idea that you could disrespect somebody like Vladimir Putin, you know, in public on the world stage and then somehow try to work out some sort of a deal, that's not how the real world works. So my only concern, and I was talking about this on my Newsmax show I hosted at 5 o'clock Eastern, and my concern is what he said about possibly sending troops, American troops, to Ukraine. My question would be, why? That seems to fly in the face of everything, and I think that would really have some significant blowback among the America First crowd, including me. I would be very concerned about sending any kind of troops, even if they were going there as peacekeepers. Entirely
the same concern that I had with Joe Biden. Now, there were a lot of additional concerns with the Biden administration, starting with the fact that I didn't believe that Joe Biden was making any of the decisions out of that White House. But my concern was always mission creep. And it remains to be mission creep. I mean, I understand that our president is a lot stronger when it comes to keeping us out of those foreign entanglements, and let's hope that he keeps that strength going. But yes, I mean, when you start talking boots on the ground, then there are ancillary things that have to be done in order to facilitate that. And I get as concerned as you, Todd, when we're talking along those lines. Go ahead.
Let me say this. The one big question left for me after today, we've sent billions of dollars of our tax money to Ukraine. You're telling me they don't have a Men's Warehouse that can outfit Zelensky in a suit? Is that really?
Well, I'll give him credit. It was a little better today, right? He wasn't in that standard issue sweater or whatever that Eddie Bauer thing that he normally puts on, that military green or black. I mean, at least it looked like he had a top coat on, so I guess we're moving forward in the right direction. Somebody can hand him a tie, and he's ready to go.
Fair enough. I will concede the point.
Todd, tell me about your book, Star Spangled Blessings, Devotions for Patriots.
So this is a fun book, and I tell my publisher that I wanted to write something where I don't get death threats, and so I think we've accomplished something here. The book is a collection of stories about how God has blessed America and how he has used our presidents, he's used regular Joes to really advance what I believe is this beautiful American experiment. And we tell a lot of stories that many people are not aware of. One of my favorites involves Dwight D. Eisenhower, who's the only president in American history to be baptized, immersed, after he was inaugurated. It happened a couple of months after the inauguration day there in Washington, D.C. And Eisenhower actually turned out to be one of our most profoundly religious presidents and the man who made it okay to talk about faith in the public marketplace.
Well, I love it. I love the concept of it. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And I know that the listening audience and in our neck of the woods will have that opportunity tomorrow night. Before we go any further, and I do want to circle back and talk to you about some local stuff out of Memphis, tomorrow night, right? 6 o'clock at Jolly Ollie's. Is that correct?
This is going to be great. Americans for Prosperity, Tennessee, and it's free pizza and wings. They're picking up the tab, and my understanding is also the first round of drinks. So I'm actually coming for the pizza and wings. The book is okay, but the pizza and wings. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of laughs, and I can't wait to share my take on the male cheerleaders in the NFL. So we're gonna touch on that tomorrow as well.
Well, it's but Todd, let's touch on it right now. I mean, it's as if the NFL cannot stand success. They insist that we put these nonsensical messages in the end zones that nobody really understands why exactly they're there, and no one believes that it works for any purpose except to annoy people and pull them away from the game. And now we found a different way to do that, which is on multiple NFL teams. I think I'm right in this. On multiple NFL teams, we have male cheerleaders now, and they appear like females. Do I have this right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the Carolina Panthers have a transgender cheerleader who kind of reminds me of the guy on the Green Mile. I mean, he's like a hulk of a guy, and he's out there, and he's a male that identifies as female. And you're right, New England Patriots, Minnesota Vikings, the New Orleans Saints have like 9 or 10 male cheerleaders, but we're not talking about like, the gymnasts, who are throwing women up in the air and catching them. These are guys who are out there shaking their nether regions, exposing their shaved armpits and legs, in front of God and country. And, if that's what's going to put butts into the seats, we'll have at it, NFL, but it's a little off-putting, I think, to a lot of fans.
Todd Starnes, our guest. Todd, obviously a talk show host out of Memphis, national show, nationally known for his Newsmax program as well. And he'll be in town, Hendersonville, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. at Jolly Ollie's. As he mentioned, free pizza and wings. And his book, Star Spangled Blessings, Devotions for Patriots, available for purchase at the event. Should be a lot of fun. We've seen the Trump takeover of Washington, D.C. I always call myself a libertarian with a small L. I wouldn't belong to any club that would have me as a member anyway, Todd. However, even as a libertarian, I recognize the presidential authority to take over that local municipal sector, if you will, and get crime tamped down in that region. There are some that are already suggesting maybe the president needs to do that in other areas of the country, like Memphis. Would you agree with that concept, and tell me about Memphis and the crime rates over there and what is being done about it, if anything?
So they called out God and Country and the National Guard and Jeanine Pirro to D.C. for a murder rate that had just hit 100. Here in Memphis, we're like, hold our sweet tea, because we've had over 171 murders so far this year, and our crime is off the charts. And the problem here, Matt, is that people are devastated. They feel abandoned by Governor Bill Lee. And I got to tell you, when the governor said at that press conference in Murfreesboro that he would consider sending National Guard troops to Washington, what the hell, Governor? What about us? We're tax-paying citizens of Tennessee. This may be a blue city, but we still pay our taxes, and we are citizens, and we feel abandoned by the Republican leadership at our state capitol right now, Matt, and it is a great frustration among everybody. And then you've got our mayor, who has a DEI hire. She's running the police department, and they're telling people, well, crime is now at an all-time low, and it's a perception problem, and they're blaming the radio station I own. I own the news talk station here, KWAM, and we just tell it like it is. We open up our phone lines, and people are reporting the crime out there. So, at what point do you say we're willing to see the complete collapse of a major American city just to appease people? I got a big problem with that.
I mean, how much of it is a matter of you get what you vote for, Todd? I mean, I understand that there's a lot of law-abiding citizens in Memphis, Tennessee, but sadly, the majority of the people that go to the polls continue to vote for that which obviously does not work.
I'm a person of the Caucasian persuasion, and I'm telling you, no way anybody white can get elected here. You have to be a black Democrat, and if you're not one of those two things, you're not getting elected. But what we are seeing are that people are waking up, and I know the Republican Party here is really running and gunning. They're fighting. They're in the fight. They've launched a Black Republican club in one of the middle-class suburbs. They had over 100 people come out for the first meeting. So I think a lot of people are frustrated. But unless, again, 90+% of the crime here is committed by black people, 90% of the victims are black people as well. And our mayor says crime is down. Well, yeah, I guess if you don't count black-on-black crime, it's down. But it's just absolutely out of control here. And we do need somebody to step in and say, all right, Memphis is worth saving. And I think it is. We got Graceland here, for God's sakes. So, we got to protect that.
Graceland, the Peabody Hotel, the Ducks, the dry
God help
rub
the
at
Ducks.
Rendezvous. I mean, God love all of those things. I mean, Memphis has the arcade, for goodness sake. I mean, Memphis has so much to offer. But you're right. I mean, the perception has become. I went through there a couple of weeks ago, taking a trip, and I'm sad to say that the perception is that, get to Beale Street, and as long as you're on Beale Street, you're great, but your car better be nearby, and you better get out of there and not walk off Beale Street too far if it's after dark. Is that perception reality, Todd?
It is absolute reality. And, I'm born and raised here. This is my hometown. And after Fox decided not to renew my contract, I moved back home because I wanted to do my part to make Memphis matter. God love us because we have a great state senator, Brent Taylor. And he's kind of like our version of Louisiana's John Kennedy, a great wordsmith. But this guy knows how to fight. And, we've got a George Soros-style district attorney. It really is the perfect storm here. I was making a joke. Somebody posted a picture. It's so hot over here in this part of the state. Somebody actually put out some Toll House cookies that they were baking on their dashboard. And I made a joke. I said, had this been in Memphis, the windows would have been busted out, and the only thing left would have been the baking sheets. And somebody took me to task, Matt. They said, clearly you haven't seen Breaking Bad. They would have taken the baking sheets too.
Yeah, they would have been baking a little different, something a little different on those bacon sheets. I can't wait for you in town tomorrow night in Hendersonville at Jolly Ollie, starting at 6 o'clock. You guys get there early, free pizza and wings, and perhaps the first to drink on AFP. And, of course, the great Todd Starnes will be there, along with his book, Star Spangled Blessings, Devotions for Patriots. Todd, you're a great American. We absolutely love the fact that you're over in Memphis. And on Newsmax and everywhere across the country. Come see us, and I'm going to try to get up there tomorrow night to say hello to you if I can get up there right as the show ends, okay?
Matt, we love your show. You're keeping them honest in Nashville, and God bless you, man.
Thank you, brother. There's Todd, the great Todd Starnes. He's a great American. He's a great Memphisite. What are you?
Memphian.
Memphian? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Well, then that's what we should go with. I'm a little out of it today. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.